Hello, class, and welcome to 5th grade social studies. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Did you have a nice weekend?
Yes, I did. How was your weekend?
It was great. Did you have a chance to read? Did all of you have a chance to read Who Was Abraham Lincoln?
Yes.
Okay, I know we didn't get a chance to talk about him too much last week, but I did assign the reading of the book just to get you started, and I said we'd have some fun things to do this week. Okay, so the objective of today's lesson is going to be that you're going to, after you've read Who Was Abraham Lincoln, we're going to do a scavenger hunt. And yeah, so the scavenger hunt is going to get you all moving around, and it's going to get you interacting with Mrs. Murray and Mrs. Bell, who you already know in the library. And we've set up some different little, I would say, areas for you to find within the library that have different books and different resources where you can learn about Abraham Lincoln. So some are books and some are computer stations and other are just objects that are related to Abraham Lincoln's life in some way. So you can go out and gather those facts. You can take the notes on your just on your social studies binder in the spiral binder, or you can take your Chromebooks with you when you do that scavenger hunt. And so before we begin, I thought I would show a little bit video about Abraham Lincoln to kind of get you excited about the task at hand. So let me get that queued up right now. Okay, so the video is showing right here, so I'm going to let you listen.
People liked and respected, and that was the quality of being a wise old man. That's one of the things that made him successful.
Okay, did you enjoy that short movie about Abraham Lincoln to get to know him a little bit more? Did you find some facts out? If you could sit in your chair, I'd appreciate it. Did you find some facts out about Abraham Lincoln that you didn't know, maybe just from the book alone? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to, maybe there were some vocabulary words in the movie as well as in our book that maybe I'll ask you guys about. So what is a president? Do you know what a president is?
It's like a person who like rules over and like makes like changes to their like country.
Yes, they could. They could be very influential with their country, right? It just takes one person to really change things in the U.S. and other parts if they're a good leader. So he was the head of the government, or a president is a him or a her, but is the head of the government, at least in the United States. So what is debate? They talked a little bit about debate in the book.
It's like say I'm talking to you. It's like say I want a donut, and you want some ice cream.
Uh-huh.
If we're like kind of like you can like express like what you want and like and talk to each other and like they talk to each other is kind of like a debate.
Great. Yeah.
If you're choosing something.
Yeah, so you're trying to decide on one thing maybe, and you have an opinion and I have an opinion. They're obviously different, but we try to keep it cordial and have a discussion maybe about why ice cream would be better, or obviously, or donuts, right? And we come to a conclusion together. A discussion between two people or groups who disagree on an important subject. And certainly dessert would be an important subject. So, yeah, and Congress, that one I'll talk about. It's a branch of a government that makes laws. So we talked about that in the book a little bit, and you'll learn a little bit more about that in your scavenger hunt probably. How about war?
It's like we're like it could be like two countries, or it could be like the world, and like there's a fight about who wants what, and it's kind of like a really big debate. But it can be like multiple countries too.
Right. Okay. And then another thing, a word that came up a little bit in the book is the word depression, and that can have various different meanings. Do you remember on the kind of social and emotional side of things what they talked about Abraham Lincoln in his life that he went through?
Like sometimes he would be depressed because, actually he was depressed like when he was 9 because his mother died.
So we went through some different bouts of sadness, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to fit some of those things in when we go on our scavenger hunt and look for some different things about his life. And so that scavenger hunt we talked about a little bit. You're going to go down to the library that's here in the elementary school, and you'll be around Mrs. Murray and Mrs. Bell if they need to help you out, and I'll be there too. And it'll get you moving around, and the stations will be obvious. They're marked with, like 5th grade, so you'll know when you found something and you need to stop and pause and kind of look through it and see what you can find out about those different stations. You're going to be making 2 different things or gathering facts for 2 different things on this assignment, and we'll start today. And we'll probably go over multiple days if we have to. One back here in the kind of the art area, I've prepared an area with different boxes, shoe boxes. We've got construction paper, and we've got scissors and tape. We've got the computer print out area where you can attach your Chromebooks and print out some different passages or pictures if you want to find some on the internet. And we're going to make book boxes. So it's kind of like an artistic craft, but you're going to use the facts that you make that you gather from the scavenger hunt to make those. And once you turn those in, you can turn those in on my back table when you're finished. And then if you're ready to start on your paper, after you do the book boxes and put some facts on there, and I'll show you the rubric that we're going to use to grade that book box, and that'll be available to you. So we're going to you need to use, if you're doing any write-ups, appropriate grammar. You need to have facts about various facts about Mr. Lincoln's childhood, facts about the places he lived and the jobs he had, and discuss various actions or decisions that Mr. or President Lincoln took. Could be before he was president or during his presidency, and discuss Mr. Lincoln's feelings. We've already talked about that he was at least depressed in sometimes. There were other feelings that I think they talk about in the book, and also incorporate some drawings or pictures that represent times of his life. So this rubric is available to you in your Chromebooks. There's a rubric for both your paper as well as your book box. So you know exactly how I'm going to grade you and what are the expectations. So it looks kind of like that. And so we'll get started here shortly. I'm glad you liked the video and YouTube to get you excited about that and the book that you were able to read before. So, so you know where the art activity is. When the art box is done, you'll turn it on my back table. When you're done with the paper that you write about that, the assignment, both the assignment and the paper can be turned in like you usually do. Just turn in to teacher in your Chromebook, if that's okay. Okay? And so, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, so the main is a scavenger hunt, and when you're done gathering all those facts, come back to class and work in the art room, and then you can work at just your desk on the Chromebooks. So you'll be doing this by yourself versus in groups this time, and if you have any questions along the way, have fun with it and get to know him a little bit, and that will be it. So we will usually take one day to do this, and so we'll have a couple hours today, but if you need any additional time tomorrow, we can probably carve out some time, and that's when you'll take the time to present your boxes to the class, and then I'll take volunteers to go in the author's chair and read their papers about what they learned about Abraham Lincoln. So, okay, sounds good. Thank you.